Hi everyone, my name is Kelly Edwards, and I'm going to be doing a brief video introduction to tell you a little bit about myself and also talk about leadership. As far as my educational background, well, first of all, I grew up in Lakeland, Florida, went to high school there, and then moved to Birmingham, Alabama to go to Samford University, which is where I did my undergrad and received my Doctor of Pharmacy degree. After that, I immediately went to do my primary care pharmacy residency, which I got through the VA system in Tampa, Florida. And I've been working as a pharmacist since. And right now I'm working to get my MBA. My professional background, I included working as a clinical pharmacist. That's how I began. In the beginning, I worked at the VA system in Birmingham, Alabama, and then in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I had a pharmacotherapy clinic and I did all kinds of medication therapy management with patients, working with them with diabetes, hypertension, cholesterol meds, things like that. And then I transitioned to working at Georgetown Memorial Hospital. I had to put a picture of that at the bottom. It didn't look like that back whenever I started, but I started as a clinical pharmacy coordinator there. And that's a photo of me in the middle picture over on the left. And then a later picture, during COVID of us there at Tidelands. So I have grown in my leadership positions at Tidelands. I went on to become the assistant director of pharmacy, and now I am the director of pharmacy operations for all of Tidelands Pharmacy Services. As far as future aspirations, I would love to grow with a growing company. I think that kind of says it all. Right now, Tidelands is a growing company. We're affiliated with MUSC. We're deepening relationships with MUSC. We've really grown our outpatient departments, and we're still planning to build a third hospital, some emergency department, urgent care centers, and even grow our oncology infusion area. And so I'm trying to grow myself and learn more and be more prepared so that I can grow with our company and also potentially into a higher level pharmacy position. So, what is the 21st century leader and what does effective leadership look like? When I think about this, the top things that come to my mind are integrity, excellence, innovation, and adaptability. Um, I couldn't do what I do if I didn't have integrity or believe in what I was doing or make sure that I was making a decision that was right, morally right. Um, as far as excellence, I just think it's always important to give it your best. And if you don't give your best, the people under you aren't going to give their best either. Um, I also put innovation and adaptability because everything is changing now. And I would say it's a healthcare thing, but I really think it's any industry right now. But the amount of change that we've had in healthcare over the last 10 to 15 years has been enormous with the regulatory and compliance changes, just how COVID changed everything that we do. But there's just been enormous change, and we're having to do a lot more in order to make good money in healthcare, to get the reimbursements for the drugs and the different things. So um, I remember early in my career thinking that I was going to get to a place where I was caught up, and I was definitely making myself miserable. So I've definitely grown to embrace change and to enjoy it and to just roll with the punches as we have new projects because that's just the way that it's always going to be. Um, I also think there's definitely phases of growth in leadership. I have learned to find my voice and hold, staff accountable, and that was really, really difficult for me in my career. But if I hadn't learned how to do that, I wouldn't be able to go to the next phase. So there's definitely always something to learn in leadership. Just because I've been in a leadership position for several years now, I'm very excited to take this class because I do think there's always something more to learn. There's so many different personalities that we have to work with. So really learning effective communication, even better skills with resolving conflict, and then learning how to really motivate people to get the best out of them is something that I'm looking forward to learning. And I've already been inspired. I started reading the Leadership Challenge this past weekend. It said challenge is the opportunity for greatness. And I said, well, goodness, because there's just always a challenge out there. So I said, God must want to make me great. So I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to learning more and looking forward to learning more about those of you in my class. Thank you.